There are two types of designers, the ones who create problems and the ones who create solutions. And guess what? Companies prefer problem solvers instead of problem creators. But you might say, but what's the catch here? Because they both seem like a table, right? Well, actually wrong. Even if you are a junior designer, you are a beginner, you don't need to go this way. And let's have a look at what is the difference between the problem and the solution. The problem here is I have, and let's think it that way. I am, let's say, developer or another designer who is ready to take over the design and continue from there. And in the problem section, I have like layers, like lots of layers. Does that sound familiar? And they are like frame 18, and in every frame I have text 36, I have frame 37. This is a complete mess and a nightmare for developers. Where, on the other hand, let's have a look at the solution here. Let's close everything. The pro designers take it this level. You click, you have only one relevant auto layout. In this auto layout, I have is table/invoice and the header. Inside header, there are like table cells, right? In the body section, there are rows. In each row, I have table cells again. And believe me, that is not really hard to achieve. You only need to practice. And that's why in this video, I will show you how would I do this solution with only, let's say, one component and two variants. I can do multiple components as well, but I would like to take this thing as simple as possible. And I will start to do with only text files. And if you keep on watching, you will see at the end how I would use AI to help me understand setting the foundations right. Let's jump in. So the first thing that I would do, right now you can forget about these solutions, is to create a cell, a basic cell that is going to cover, nest all the child elements, which is, in this case, Shift A to auto layout. And I will, for now, I will call it cell, because at the end, you don't need to care so much about the naming convention just right now. And put something like a fill color, and then basically the text can be white. I will put the fill color a little bit lighter. Okay. And that's it. In this case, I will start to make this thing a component. Why? Because I'm on my assets panel and I will create the top section in this table. And let's go ahead and Shift G to open my columns, because I will slowly build, let's say, 10 column table. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the rest is, let's first complete here. I need to put them in an auto layout. And let's call it for now a header. This is invoice, this is company, date, and amount. Okay. And in this header, I just don't want any gap between any child elements. Put it 0, done. That's good. This is the header section. And what about, I would want to have something like a row section as well. And in this case, I need to fill with these blank data, date, and something like the amount. And that's it. But in this case, I would like to have a little bit different color set, for this one a little bit. And let's copy these colors, right? This is a bit darker. This is a little bit lighter. And from here, press I. Okay, I have these two colors. just to be more precise. And in this case, I would like to add a variant. And the only difference in this variant is going to be the fill color will be this, whereas this one, the fill color is going to be slightly darker. Okay. And let's go ahead and select. So property default, and this is property default. Let's fix these things. So this is variant 2. I'm going to name this one type and header. And this is also type cell. That's it. And when I select all of them with enter, I can then say this is not header, these are cells, so that it will automatically reduce the color tone. Easy, right? So what else? I need to have something like more than one row, right? So let's put these rows into an auto layout and say container for now. These are very basic names, okay? They are not groundbreaking names for now. And there is an amazing tool here in Figma Pro that you can make more than one lines, and it will ask you to replace content. So when you say replace my content, it's going to generate random content, which is pretty cool. And don't mind about the sizing of this thing, because this container is going to be way bigger, whereas the header is going to be way bigger as well. So let's put them, let's say a generic size of 600 for now. And for all the child elements inside, all the rows are 600 as well, but all these child elements, I would like them to fill the container, okay? So let's understand what is going on here. I have a cell, okay? I have a row that is holding more than one cells, and each row are now stacked in a container, which is 600 pixel. Great. Now with that knowledge, put that 600 as well, select all the child elements with pressing enter, make it also fill container, which doesn't mean that all the table cells have to be the same size, but for now that's enough for me. And let's make an auto layout out of this thing and call it table. Good. 0, done. So in a nutshell, it is done, but let's now put it in our column structure. So I would like it to be 10 columns right now. Instead of, let's go back to the problem. And you see now the solution take me around 10 minutes. You will never have to be that problem creator, right? Right now, I finished this in 10 minutes. So let's kind of fine tune this table. I will get rid of the columns and let's see what can I do to improve this thing. So it is already 10 columns, but I would like these childs. Instead of clicking many times, there's a solution. I want you to press Command in Apple. By pressing Command, I want you to select the child elements, in this case, the text. What I really want is this text file to be in a bounding box, which is filling the parent frame. Let's do that by, instead of hug, let's fill that container. Boom. And from here, I can make it center, right align, or left align. Cool. And by the way, in a fundamental level, nothing will change. That's good. These can be centered, that is okay, but I want this time to select these child elements, do the same instead of hug, make it fill, and right align. Okay? And what I really want is maybe there is a company name that can be way longer than these. So where can I get extra space is, now this time I'm going to select from the cells. As you see, when I select, I can see it clearly that I select cells. Let's make them 150 or even 100. Good. I will exactly do the same for the invoice part, since I don't need that big real estate. 100, done. Good. Now, as you see, I have way bigger area, which I can also reduce the dates. Let's do something like this. Okay. Cool. That's basically done. I hope that helps. And don't forget, you can download this file and do the same exercise at figma.com/@0to-UI. Basically, try to solve the problems or ask me questions. Where did you feel stuck? I will be more than happy to answer them. In the next chapter, I will be also talking with AI how to set these naming conventions in a pro level. That's like as long as you come this far, that's good enough. But let's put some difference to be a problem solver. Who wouldn't want that? And let me show you my prompt. Okay, in this section, I want you to do two things, which is copy the prompt that I give you, or do even better, and use perplexity.ai and aistudio.google.com. We all know ChatGPT, but let's take a secondary option. And I want you to write this prompt. I'm a junior designer making a table. How should I name my master table cell component so it's instantly clear in a design system? How do I name and organize header and row cells variants for smart reuse later? When grouping cells into headers and rows, how do I structure and label these layers to make collaboration and handoff easy? That's a very important part. Using only best practices at every decision component variant or group. What's the most scalable and readable naming convention here? How do large teams avoid confusion with table layers and variants? Help me understand and organize, please. Be kind to AI. And let's see how Perplexity will answer and what we can learn from that. As you see, it has 20 sources, right? And it will also explain you the steps, and the answer is like this. We will come back to it later. So the second one is I'm going to use chat here, and the chat is ready. I will just paste it here, the same prompt. Let's run with Google as well. Google have a different approach. It has a big bank of database so that they can take all the information just like Perplexity does. And it's slightly slower than Perplexity, but it kind of gives you a master brief in this case. Because of the fact that I ask a help for me to understand what is going on, it is giving you mastering table components in your design system, guide for junior designers. This is extremely powerful because guess what? As you do more and more these things along the way, you will get used to all these terminologies, right? And in this example, I want you to read both of them with all as like a secondary opinion and do step by step exactly the same and make screenshots, put back in the AI, and they are completely free, by the way. Put them in AI and ask help if you don't understand some part, just screenshot and explain, and it will help you along the way. That is basically using AI in a smart way. Okay? And I hope that helps. And I will probably tweet about this prompt as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Share with friends, obviously. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.